Hi, it's me, Rocket Mom, on Mother's Day, coming at you live from my kitchen in Westland. And with me, I have the lovely John Nasty. Off screen, hold on, she's doing her hair. Hello, there you go. And we are going to do a week's worth of food prepping. And just to clarify, we're actually going to cook the food as well, because I got that question today via text message. Shout out to you, Nancy. And so we're going to make 3 proteins, a grain, some roasted veggies. We're going to make some Veggie Toppers, which is just basically chopped up things for a salad or a bowl. And then I'm going to leave you with a few hints of other things that I would do if we had longer than an hour to an hour and 20 minutes, which is probably what we're going to hit today. So we're going to dive right in. First off, I am going to make myself a beverage. I had some lovely wine out to drink from Union Wines, but it's a little hot for red wine. So I am actually going for a 2-town cider, actually mixed with a pamplemousse. Oh, it's pink. That's fun. All right, so hopefully y'all have gotten all the things prepped, like your 2 chickens should be cut. Your tofu should be cut. And if you have, oh man, there is a bug in my beverage. Hold on. I got it. It is bug season in Oregon, so that's cool. If you do not have your roasted roots and stuff washed yet, hopefully you have a lovely sous chef with you who can do that for you. Because we are really going to kind of go through this pretty quickly. I will tell you that typically when I am doing a week's worth of food prepping, I'm going to have looked through recipes online and picked out things that I think would go well together. Because what I'm looking for is having enough food in the fridge for at least the first few days of bowls, salads, things that you can kind of mix and match. And so, flavors that are complementary. But also, every week I'm going to be looking for, some of the things I'll do will be more in-depth prep, and some of them will be easier to do. Paige, you're texting me, and it keeps popping up on my cell phone, so stop texting me.
Oh, wait, I can look here.
Love you, though. Thank you for your help.
I'm on my Zoom trying to make phone so.
Okay, so what we're going to do is we are going to start, here's our process. We're going to do marinating proteins really quickly. They're going to get a marinade while we do chopping up veggies for roasted roots. But the very first thing we're going to do is we are going to turn on our oven to 400 degrees, which seems pretty insane because it's about 85 right now in Portland. So I'm going to start off by turning my oven on. All right, that bad boy is getting started. I'm going to take a sip of my frosty cold beverage. So delish. All right, so hopefully you have a good sharp knife with you. Hopefully you have out your immersion blender, NutriBullet, or a whisk, whatever. Big thing about any of this is I'm not, oh, yeah, here's who I am. I should start with that. I am Kim Stegeman, or AKA Rocket Me. I'm the executive director of the Rose City Rollers, and I'm the world's longest living derby employee of modern roller derby. And I only play a chef on TV or Zoom, as it were, during a pandemic. So we're going to start with getting our proteins ready to go. And I'm going to show you, I specifically chose a few ways to show you what we're going to make, because I want you to know that you can go as in-depth prep cooking, or you can go, buy some things that are already pre-made. Nobody's judging you. It's just about getting stuff ready for the week, and making things that you like and will actually eat. So today we're going to do 2 forms of chicken breasts, and we're going to do tofu. And those of you that read my prep list saw that what I do is I actually take, let me grab this. I actually take the tofu. I got it yesterday. I pressed it. So a lot of the water came out, which is basically you just put paper towel, tofu block, paper towel, something heavy on top, and then you get the water out of it. And then from there, chopped it up into 1-inch pieces, put it on a sheet pan, put it in the oven for a couple hours. So, and then it kind of changes colors. Yes, it becomes a strangish orangish gray color. But The beauty part is the texture changes on it, and it also absorbs your marinades really well. So, pro tip on this, if you use a thinner marinade on tofu, it'll actually absorb better. So I'm gonna do a couple of things. One, I'm gonna start with a little bit of Secret Aardvark, the Drunken garlic black bean sauce. So there it is. Shout out to Stacy from Secret Aardvark, I love her. Okay, so I'm gonna get a little of this in here. Just some squeezes. As you can see, there's nothing really specific about this. And then I'm gonna get this thoroughly mixed so the base on it is a thinner sauce. And then I'm gonna throw some just store-bought barbecue sauce, whatever you have. One of my things when it comes to prep cooking is I wanna try to use up things in my fridge. So if I had a half of a thing of whatever kind of barbecue sauce, I would be using it. You're gonna see in a little bit, I'm gonna use a bunch of bruised up veggies and stuff like that because part of prep cooking is about saving money and making sure that you have food in the fridge so that you are not ordering food, even though it's nice to support businesses.
Or you use the food.
Yeah, and like for me, I get organic veggies delivered every other week, and I hate it when I see them going bad. So, okay, so I put in some black bean sauce. I'm just gonna throw in a little bit of barbecue sauce. Okay? Now, I'm gonna take this and I'm just shaking it around. You can also do this in a bowl if you want to, either way. Just key to get it all mixed around and make sure that you close your bag all the way so it doesn't end up all over you or your kitchen. We had a major nasty incident with some very sugary creamer the other day, and it was totally my fault. And my husband was very nice about it. All right, tofu, you are prepped, you sit. Let's move on to some chicken. I've got 2 bowls of chicken here.
Right hand is easier.
Okay, so I'm gonna do an Asian marinade. So here's the thing with marinades. Getting really comfortable with doing quick marinades, it has been like one of my favorite things in the last few years. And I'm not a big measurer. Today though, I will go over some quantities with you, okay? So we're gonna start off with a 1/4 cup of soy sauce. And you can tell that I do a lot of marinades because I have a lovely Costco-sized thing of soy sauce. All right, and I use my NutriBullet all the time. If you have an immersion blender or a whisk, put it in a bowl. Let's do this. All right, 1/4 cup. Does it need to be really specific? No, it's marinade. All right, soy sauce is off to the side. Some sesame oil. If you do not own sesame oil, buy this on the regular. It is fantastic. The flavor is delish. So this is calling for 4 teaspoons. I got my handy dandy. There it is. And that does not look like 4 teaspoons. So let me grab my backup. Yeah, look at me being ready. I'm really impressed with myself right now because usually I run out of things during a cooking session and don't have backup. So this is fantastical. Okay, but first we'll get through this. Okay, 4 of them. 1-ish. 2-ish. 2 2/3-ish. All right. Oh, take that. Thanks, Jonna. All right. 1 more and about 1/2. Love sesame oil. It has a great flavor. Okay. Up next, 2 tablespoons of honey. Not a big fan of measuring honey because it gets stickiness all over the house. So I'm going to do 2 tablespoons like this. 1, 2. Again, it's a marinade. It doesn't have to be super precise. I'm also going to throw in a couple of shakes of fish oil just because it goes great with everything. Well, not everything. I mean, not pancakes. All right, ginger and garlic. These are my friends, ginger and garlic. And you can chop them, you can shred them, whatever you would like to do. I personally love a microplaner. So I'm going to take the buns off my, Jonna's reorganizing.
You can't see what
Oh, okay, well, thank you. This is my producer, Jonna. She's making it so you guys can see what I'm doing. All right, just getting my ginger ready. Just getting all the external bits So it calls for some ginger. Take the microplaner, don't knock over your marinade. Just get it going with a bunch of ginger. Knocking it. Okay. So ginger is kind of one of those things that, you know, people typically love it or hate it. So up to you whether or not you put this in and how much you put in, okay? Garlic. All right, let's get a couple cloves of garlic going on. I'm just gonna take my large knife, smash that bad boy a little bit, smash that bad boy. That was awesome, it went flying. Again, I'm not a chef, never been trained. I worked in advertising before I ran a derby league. So yeah, if I'm doing things wrong in the chef realm, it's not shocking. All right, same thing, microplane that garlic. Oh yeah, we're about to put this in a blender, so really you could save time and just go like that. Yeah. Okay, anything else you would want to put in here? You could do it. White pepper would be good. Oh wait, Jay, grab me the chili paste.
You got the garlic?
Top, yeah. Chili paste, top right shelf. Green lid. Okay, this is one of my all-time favorites. If you're not a hot person, don't put this in your food, but it's not really very hot. It just adds a fantastic flavor. And again, this is a marinade, so it's not gonna be, and it's a quick marinade, so it's not gonna be really, you know, killing you if you add it. All right. Good enough. That was probably about a tablespoon. I could have used a measuring spoon. It was right there, but it's not my style, as John just said. Okay, so Nutribullet is my favorite for marinades. Here we go. See, look at the honey. He's such a jerk. He just hangs on the top. So just let him go down for a minute. Are you ready? Okay. That was probably pretty loud. I apologize. Okay, I'm just gonna swirl it around to make sure I got all the honey bits off the bottom. I'm also gonna throw, as I get bits of garlic, skins, things like that, I'm gonna keep them in a bowl right here, because what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take all this, all the leftover parts that I cut off of veggies and stuff, and I'm gonna throw them into a bag and put them in the freezer, and I'm gonna use it for a stock in the future. I always have one of those bags going. All right, so first chicken marinade is going into a bag. And I'm really hoping I can just get the chicken in there safe without touching it. I need a spoon. I got spatulas right here. Okay, here we go.
You need a buddy?
No, I don't need a buddy yet. Let's see. Woo! Dang it! Oh, shit! Oh, man.
It's always great to have a buddy.
I know, but now I got chicken everywhere. I gotta wash
I'll wipe the
everything.
counter while you wash it.
Okay. Here, take that, dear assistant. Now I gotta wipe chicken off of everything. Okay, well, it's a good thing y'all can hear me though. Again, non-pro chef, but we're gonna go ahead and get our marinade into that bag. Okay. And that was a fantastic amount of marinade. So just take it and get it all moved around. So this chicken just came out of the fridge. And since we're only doing a quick marinade, don't worry about it sitting out for like 15 minutes. You're gonna be fine. You're not gonna hit the danger zone. So that's gonna go there. And I'm gonna have to wipe off some of these things. Those are fine. That is fine. But I do have to get a few of these things out of the way. I should have put the chicken in the bag earlier, like I said to myself, but it's okay. I'm gonna wipe these off real fast. I don't want any chicken. I'm gonna use a hot, thank goodness my water in my house actually goes up to 140 degrees, which is ridiculous. So, but great for sanitizing. Okay, and we'll just throw another cutting board on top of that, just to be extra safe. Okay, are we ready? So here's my next hack. So on this one, on the tofu, we went like a little bit of bottle sauce or a couple bottle sauces, but we had some prep steps on the tofu to make it have a great texture with the freezing of it. The first chicken that we did was, you know, a standard marinade where you kind of put everything together, you mix it up. So on the last one, I'm actually going to use a spice rub, and I'm going to throw oil in it. So I have a Mediterranean rub that I buy in bulk at the store, which is fantastic, but I don't have a ton of it, so I don't want to use it all up. And so I have this hilarious taco mix. All right? It's one of those kind of things. You can buy plenty of these pre-mixed things. Montreal chicken mix. You can use Old Bay. You could use a garlic seasoning, whatever you like. I tend to watch for when these things go on sale and then just buy those mixed things. All right, so next step. Let's get this chicken. Oh, round 2. Jay, dump said chicken in the bag for me. Hold on, I got my spatula.
Yes.
Are you holding the back of the bag?
Yes.
We really should have put this in the bag in advance. Okay, good, great. All right, here you go.
So now you know you need a buddy to do chicken.
There you go. Thank you. Okay, so all I'm gonna do, I'm gonna open this up. I'm gonna open up the sprinkle side so I'm not crazy. Okay, I've got my chicken in a bag. And again, this is about 4 chicken breasts. Okay, I'm sprinkling. So if you think about, this is the same kind of mix that you get into a packet. So you could use a packet or you could sprinkle in probably 4 tablespoons, which is the equivalent of a packet. And then I'm gonna take my olive oil. I'm just gonna drizzle this bad boy in there. You're so fun, olive oil, look at you. And you're so cute. This is one of my favorite purchases ever. Rachel Ray. She's not a sponsor, I'm just saying that. Okay, so again, just mix it all around. You're just going for another quick marinade. This is all about getting as many things ready for the week so you can have a smooth week. And I really like to have Sunday nights to myself. As any of my staff can attest, I hate it when things get scheduled on Sunday nights because I like having time for prepping food and I like having time for chilling out because my weeks are bonkers. Okay. Paige, do we have any questions yet while I mix this?
We don't have any questions yet. Do you want to prompt us with a question and maybe we can get some responses though?
No, I just needed to mix this a little bit more and I wanted to make sure that people had time to ask questions if they had questions. I'm wondering if people are actually cooking along with me or if they're sitting around drinking and watching.
Drinking and watching.
Let's find
Besides
out.
the person with me who is drinking and watching, obviously. Okay.
All right, he says she is, so she's cooking along and that she's sweating.
I'm sweating too, so
Summer
cheers.
is drinking and watching.
Oh gosh, I'm telling you guys, this is a raspberry lemonade cider from 2 Towns and I added some pamplemousse. That is amazing. So one of my problems is if I'm like working really quickly and like trying to like pound through a bunch of work, I'll end up drinking a bunch. And so like, that's why I added water to my cider. Okay, so I'm feeling well mixed. I also could have mixed the rub and the olive oil in a separate dish and then dumped it in. But one of the things with doing prep cooking is you don't want to end up with 3 hours of dishes to do afterwards. All right, we've got 3 things marinating. They look super exciting. What is next? Oven is on.
We can't see those baggies.
There's 3 baggies. They're right here, just so you know. You'll see me put them on a sheet pan in a few. Okay, next up, we gotta get ready for our roasted veggies. Oh, so exciting. So I have this lovely bowl of roasted veggies. Like I said, they're already clean, but I'm gonna show you, again, I chose a few hacks for you. Okay, oh, my oven is ready. Okay, don't forget, we have a bowl off to the side for any discarded veggies that can go into a stock. Now, you probably can't see this, but there are some brown spots on my cauliflower. That's fine, it's organic, it happens, okay? So one of the first things I'm gonna do is go through and I'm going to remove any brown spots that I have. Okay. And so when you're doing roasted veggies, the big thing that you need to remember is that different things are going to cook at different speeds based on their density. So when I do things, I try to kind of stick to things that are similar. So you can see I didn't add broccoli to the mix because broccoli would actually cook quite a bit faster than the rest of the things. I'm doing sweet potatoes, carrots, and cauliflower. Oh, cheers, Jonah. So let's see, I got all my brown spots off there. Yes. So next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut out the middle. Wait, this is not the right knife for that action. My big knife, my big friendly knife. I'm gonna cut out the middle. Oh, I didn't get it all. I'm gonna do it a little bit more. This is so funny because I'm just not a chef. Okay, great. So I'm getting all of these cut up. Oh, I discovered another brown spot. Great, that bad boy is ready. Okay, now I'm gonna clean this off a little bit. Jeez Louise. Okay. Got to keep a relatively clean workspace, which is something Jonna has never heard me say, and she's smiling about.
I keep a relatively clean workspace for you.
Yes.
You want visible.
Okay. I'd like the medium-sized bowl. Okay, so for your roasted roots, you're going to want to have a bowl sitting off to the side. Again, we're just trying to keep it pretty simple as far as chopping. So I try to get them about the same size. What is this? About 2 thumbs?
As the same size as your smallest fish, right?
So cauliflower, between cauliflower, carrots, and sweet potatoes, cauliflower is going to cook the fastest because it's the least dense. So it can be the largest size one. Okay, so I'm just going to go through, going to get this ready, and I'm not going to lose any fingers. That only happens at Thanksgiving. Inevitably, I always sharpen my knives at Thanksgiving, and then I cut myself immediately. Okay. All right. What's next?
You got to do all your veggies.
Oh, okay. So we have sweet potatoes next. Oh, you know what else I did with these veggies is that I just got a message that said I'm doing good on time and don't cut myself. I decided that I had a bag of little baby carrots that I had received, that I purchased before my most recent carrot delivery. And so I'm going to use those. And it's also nice because it's one of those things that's already relatively ready to go. Just when you're using if you're going to use baby carrots, just be careful because they are pretty rolly. So make sure that you have got yourself, hold them down so you don't cut yourself and so they don't go flying off. Unless you have a dog that loves to eat baby carrots, in which case go ahead and drop them on the floor. My dogs are locked outside because they are noisy and bonkers. Okay.
As are.
So I'm looking at my big bowl full of cauliflower. I don't like that piece. I'm gonna get rid of that. Okay, so my bowl of cauliflower is like this. That's about 1/3 of the way full. So then I kind of want to try to have a similar amount, but also keep in mind what your family will actually eat. Like, I know that I scarf down cauliflower because it's delish, but I don't know if I eat as much carrots as cauliflower. Okay, so my carrots, I'm just laying them down in a row, and I'm cutting them in half. All right, and they're going right in there. All right, next row of carrots. Look at them, just line them all up. Down the middle. It's cute, huh? And I like all the colors because they have different flavors. Okay. Your head's in the thing, Jonna. Everybody just saw your bun.
Okay.
Okay. This is too big of a row. 2 rows of carrots. Here we go.
And they're fun colors.
I put, the other day I made a spice cake for my father-in-law's birthday, and I was adding carrots, and I had like only multicolored carrots. I forgot to tell him, and so there was like shredded carrots that I added to the mix, and it was there was purple ones, and I was like, oh, don't worry about that. The black stripy things, it's just purple carrots, and he was like, oh, okay. My sweet potatoes, again, they've already been washed. I'm lopping their ends off because they weren't looking super beautiful, and then I am going to keep their skins on, because like any root veggie, you get extra nutrients from the skins. So these are going to be, you know, fairly dense. So we're going to take these to a smaller chop, right? So I'm probably about 1/2 inch. All right. So this size. Okay. So here, look at the relationship, right? Cauliflower, sweet potatoes. Okay. All right. My dogs really want to come in. They think something exciting is happening in here, and they should be here for it. Okay. All right, a couple of those look a little bit chunky. Here we go, in the bowl. All right, my next sweet potato friend. I love sweet potatoes. Jonna made groaning noises off to the side. Apparently not a huge fan. Okay. So the big thing is when you're cutting up these kind of things, just make sure you're kind of taking a look. Like, obviously I didn't cut these the same size because, again, not a pro chef. But then I just kind of will make them more narrow so they even out as far as what their overall weight is. Okay. Are we ready? So now we're gonna start the zhuzhing, the great zhuzhing of the roots. How are you guys doing? Are you getting all chopped up? Wow, so that made a lot. So I'm actually gonna shift this to a larger bowl so I have room for tossing. Okay? Will you rinse that for me? No, I don't need the lid. Okay, so now I've got my carrots, my cauliflower, and my sweet potatoes in here. So let's do some fun zhuzhing. So things you can do here. I like to think about the fact that I've already got really flavorful proteins going on. So with my veggies, I'm going to tend to keep them a little more simple so they can go with a variety of things. Also, I really like adding veggies to eggs in the mornings, so I definitely want to keep them kind of on the straight and narrow. So our dear friend EVOO is going to start us off. All right, you are roasting, so you're probably going to use about, it's probably about 3 tablespoons if I had to guess of olive oil. We're going to get it going with a little bit of salt. It sounds like a lot, but it's just a noisy grinder. Okay, I'm going to get my cracked pepper because salt and pepper are kind of the, dang, what's wrong with you, buddy? Okay, get my pepper going in there. And then on this one, because they're roots, I'm going to add some balsamic vinegar because it really kind of brings out the flavor. Balsamic is right here. It's like the world's biggest bottle. It has a cute little spout that pops out. Okay. If I had to guess, that's probably 3 tablespoons, 1/4 cup. All right. And I do that because I know that my husband really loves balsamic vinegar. He gets so excited when I use it. I'm like, do I not use it enough? Okay. And then I have, where's my great big spoon at? I know I put it away earlier. Oh, I guess I'll use my non-great big spoon. Oh, well, okay. Okay, so now I'm just mixing this up. Other things that can be added to this. Lemon pepper is always a good one. Let's do a couple other spices, shall we? But I'm not going with any specific like flavor profile because we already have like an Asian marinade. We have a taco. and we have a barbecue, okay? So I'm just going kind of things that are what goes with that. So lemon pepper. No, that's not a lot. And then also a little garlic powder. All right, so I got those. We're ready to go. Where are we at as far as time? No, what time is it? 4:33. That's perfect. Okay. All right, so I have two.
It smells delicious, in case your viewers want to know.
I'm gonna taste one. It is delicious. I tried a cauliflower. Don't try a sweet potato raw. It's disgusting. Okay. Sheet pans. So both of these things are going to be fairly large for a single sheet pan, but that's the way we're going to roll. So I'm going to start with, I'm going to save my larger sheet pan for the meat because maybe I shouldn't have eaten the cauliflower because now it's all over my teeth. I'm going to use my larger sheet pan, this one, and then this is my smaller one. They're very similar size, but I'm going to use a larger one for the meat because it's really important to spread the meat out so it cooks evenly. The veggies, on the other hand, if they didn't get fantastically cooked, it would be fine. You wouldn't die. All right, so with the veggies, I'm going to use a lovely non-aerosol spray. Spray oil. I am going to throw my veggies right on there. And look at that big, beautiful pan of veggies. Again, if I was cooking for like Thanksgiving or something like that, where I had people come in and I wanted every piece of vegetable to look fantastic and wonderful and have that perfect, you know, browning on it, yeah, I may do things differently. But this is like cooking for the week at home. Also, when I tend to cook large sheet pans, I want to do them more on the al dente side because I want to make them so that I can reheat them either on the stove top or in a microwave for easy cooking. Okay, so that is ready to go. And then here's what we're gonna do with our proteins. Are you ready?
Are you
So,
mixing up the tofu with chicken?
no. Wait, it's a beverage top.
Beverage break.
And I'm boogieing for a minute. You can't hear the music, but I can. Here we go. Hey, while I'm doing this, shout out to all the moms out there. Yeah. I love my mom. I love lots of moms. I am not a mom, except for to thousands and thousands of derby skaters who have gone through the Rose City Rollers since 2004. Okay, here's what we're doing. We are going to take an extra long piece of foil. Okay, so I'm going about time again. What we're going to do is we're going to actually make 3 compartments. Okay, so you can have 3 flavors. Okay, so take that, fold it up a little bit. Next one, fold it up a little bit. And then the last part, you're gonna fold it over the edge. So you just kind of get it in there. And then, whoa, I did mine totally off. I was imagining my sheet pan was a lot bigger apparently. But again, it doesn't have to be super precise. This is like, get your shit for the week done and then get on to like, you know, playing Farkle or whatever you need to do. Okay. So, squeezing that in. I also think I did more chicken than I usually did. Okay, hold on. I'm still making it beautiful. Okay. Here it is. Can you see it has 3 different compartments? There you go. Okay, you see like 3 compartments? Okay, so not super precise. You're not like thinking that the juices aren't going to flow underneath, but you're keeping the flavors relatively separate. All right, so first thing I'm going to do, my tofu. I don't want to dump all the juices from this tofu necessarily in there because it does look a little bit watery. So I'm going to actually use a slotted spoon that I just used. Oh, you smell so delicious. Okay, so I'm actually going to give this a little spray too. No, I'm good. I'm gonna do this. Little spray, little spray, little spray. Okay. And I'm gonna try to get this out of here without all the juice coming with me because I think it might just be too soggy. I got some juice, dang it. Say it with me, not a pro chef, but a fun chef. Man, I am a methy chef though. The secret aardvark black.
The food is delicious. That's the ultimate goal.
The food is almost always delicious, except for the time that we caught the turkey on fire. That was ridiculous. It was not delicious, but it was memorable. Except for that we almost burned the house down. That was a bummer. Okay. Look at that. You're fitting so good into your little area. Okay. Now, with the chickens, the one chicken that had a dry rub, that one should be really easy. Okay, so the other thing is, you know, other chefs would watch this and be like, that lady's crazy because she did not spread her stuff out well enough. And yeah, if you want to have many, many sheet pans and spread things out really well, you can, but we can still get things cooked all the way through and have them fairly crowded because I don't want to spend my entire life in a kitchen. Are you ready? So then barbecue black bean tofu. In the middle, we're gonna go, in the middle, we're gonna go taco seasoning chicken. And this was a dry rub with oil, so it really shouldn't take, thank you, Madea. It shouldn't have a lot of liquid in it, so this one should be fine. And then the last one that is a liquid marinade, we're gonna be careful with not bringing all of the marinade in. You can see some of these things aren't amazingly well mixed, but again, non-pro.
No, but it will happen.
It'll still be delish. Okay. Okay. Here we go. My friend.
We're at time, so
Okay. All right. Slotted spoon. That should have been on my list of things to have. But, you know.
check.
Okay, just getting our chickens ready. Oh my gosh, this smells so good. Big fan of ginger. Never really cooked with ginger when I was younger. I don't know why, I just wasn't. Well, we're also from California, so I don't think it was a huge. I mean, like, my mom put avocados on everything, but. Okay, thank you. Okay. See, look at that. That was a, 20-minute marinade, and they all smell amazing. Okay, so this guy needs a little more room, so I'm just going to go ahead and bend this a little bit further that way.
Can you marinate them longer? Can you do the meat prep?
Yeah, if you wanted to marinate all your meats, a lot of times I marinate them overnight. Just make sure that you don't put a bunch of citrus in your marinades because it'll start cooking your meats. So, okay, look at this. Holy cow. I'm gonna ditch this bad boy, wash my hands real fast because, you know, we do that. The auto soap thing, amazing. Okay. All right, so we're like halfway into this and look at this. Can you see it? Barbecue black bean tofu, taco chicken, and an Asian chicken. Like, this is a week of fun. Okay, my oven is ready at 400 degrees, so we're gonna go ahead and pop these bad boys in. I'm gonna put the chicken in the middle, and I'm gonna do my vegetables next. I'm gonna give my veggies a nice little spray of oil just on top for fun with the roasting. Okay, those are going in 30 minutes. And then one of the other things I typically do when I'm doing sheet pans is I will turn when I hit like 5 minutes, I'll turn on the broiler and I'll broil things off a little bit. All right, booze break. All right, grains, let's do this. All right, I'm doing quinoa. So, and that's largely because we're on television. So what I'm going to do with the grains is I'm going to do, quinoa takes 20 minutes. So typically what I would do, but I didn't want to require everybody to have an Instant Pot, is I would usually be doing like some brown rice and black beans while I'm making these in the Instant Pot. Or I would do rice in the Instant Pot, because for some reason rice is like that thing that I cannot cook. Where did all my...
Oh, they're here.
Oh, I needed the 1 cupper.
I knew you needed
Okay.
the sheet.
All right. So I'm going to do a thing of quinoa. Jay, I also need, will you grab me a broth out of that thing, the circle-y thing in the back lower left? Thank you. Okay, so first off, I'm going to do a cup of quinoa. Quinoa, just do a 1-to-1 ratio. Okay. Big thing with quinoa, though, is you do need to rinse it. I rinse all my grains. Things like jasmine rice and brown rice, they like to sit for like 10 minutes. And quinoa, it likes a moving rinse for 2 minutes. Okay, so we're gonna go over, do some rinsing. What I tend to do is I will do my quinoa in, I will do the water, running water in here, and then I will dump the quinoa into my colander and then throw it back in and just kind of keep it moving for a couple minutes. And then I'm actually going to use, all right, so I got my water going on my quinoa, and then I'm actually going to, instead of using water in the cooking process, I like to use stock, just for flavor. Okay, so rinsing that, dumping it back in. I know it's hard for you guys to see me over here, you know, not really a cooking show, but okay. Okay, my quinoa is actually looking gorgeous. My quinoa is running pretty clean. So like any grain, sometimes you're gonna get batches of quinoa that are really dirty, and sometimes you get batches that are really not dirty. I'm sorry if this is super noisy. Okay. So the big thing now is just to get all the water out of the quinoa. And quinoa is kind of fun because when you cook it, it's not like rice where you have to boil the water first. You can actually boil quinoa and your liquid together, and then you cover it once the boil gets going. So here we come. Let's go over here. Which one shall we use? I like this one the best. Yes, I do play favorites with my burners. Okay, so that was 1 cup of quinoa. And now I'm gonna do, so I'm gonna double that, and I'm gonna do 2 cups of broth. But I'm gonna go a little bit under because of the fact that we just rinsed the quinoa. And so the quinoa actually has some liquid left in it. So here I go, about 2 cups. Okay, so, oh, you know what I didn't do? Oh no, I did it. Great, awesome. Good job, Kim. Yeah, I set the timer. All right, so I'm turning this on high. So it's gonna go on to high while it's getting warmed up. And then I'm gonna turn it down to a simmer. And this is all about knowing what your stove does and finding which pan works best for doing grains. I have one pan that every time I use it, like I burn grains. I don't know why. And then I have this total ghetto fabulous one that I've had for a million years that actually works wonders. So, all right, so we'll get rid of this bad boy. So up next, we're gonna start, while this is cooking, we are going to do vegetables that are gonna be our veggie toppers. Okay, and so what that is, like I said, we're doing bowls that are gonna be for a variety of meals, bowls, salads, all that kind of jazz. So the easiest way to make it so that you can eat healthy all week is having a lot of healthy things prepped in the fridge. So we are gonna do some prepping of things. All right, so some of the things that I have tickle allergies like crazy. Like I said in the very beginning, I've already washed the veggies that I'm gonna use for my toppers. Jay, do you wanna pull out Tupperwares, like the little Tupperwares? Okay, so onions. I always need onions prepped in the fridge, and I'm typically gonna have 2 different kinds of onions. So we're gonna do a julienne, and we're gonna do some diced onions. But I put them in the same thing because I know how to pull them out using my hands. I'm gonna dice up some bell peppers to go on salads, and I'm also gonna dice up tomatoes. With tomatoes, I tend to dice up just one at a time.
They're all in the fridge from taco night.
Oh. Okay, so let's start with my bell peppers. So I buy these little bell peppers because I just like them. I think they're adorable, little organic bell peppers. So what I'm gonna do, go down the long way, and then I'm gonna cut them into whatever size. I personally like them fairly small, so I'm gonna just give them some rough choppings, right? So I kept them on the end, and now the end is, where did my bowl go? All right, I always keep those bits, again, for stock, okay? So again, hold on to the end, long cut, and then on the top, I'm gonna do at least 2 cuts, and try to get everything about the same size, and then just chop, 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 chop. Okay. Same thing, one. That one go all the way through? There we go. All right. For me, the big thing is having lots of colorful stuff right when you look in the fridge. And then you don't go, oh crap, I should get a pizza. You're like, oh dang, look how exciting those vegetables are. We should eat those. That's a real thing. I think I've only had pizza once actually during quarantine, maybe twice. Okay, my friends, the bell peppers, they're going into a container. Okay, so set them off to the side. Let's deal with this bad boy, the onion. So I always need onions. Okay, so first off, when I'm doing onions, I want onions for all kinds of things. I want them for sandwiches. I want them for salads. I want them for egg dishes. So it's important just to get them all the different cuts that I want. I'm super particular about red onions when they get really strong. Uh-oh, what is on the screen? Am I running out of juice? Something just came on my screen. All right, so I'm gonna start with some really thin. You can plug it in right there. Okay, so I'm gonna do some thin, full circle onions that can be used on salads. Okay, so I got some of those going. I'm gonna throw them in the bowl, just off to one side.
We lost your audio, Mean.
We lost my audio?
We cannot hear you right now. Oh, Nancy says she can hear just fine.
Can you hear me now?
Everyone else.
Can you hear me? Hello?
Oh,
why did we lose my audio?
Can help, so don't worry, just keep going.
I can hear. Oh, they can all hear. Okay, we're fine. Okay. All right, so up next, I'm gonna take my onion and I'm gonna cut it in half. Leave the head attached. Is that good?
Are we good?
We're good. Okay. I'm gonna leave the head attached. I don't know if that's the real name of it. And if you've never learned how to do this, watch videos where you can actually see close up, not me far away. Hold on, I need a drink. Okay. Now, I am doing I'm slicing in, and slicing in. And then I'm gonna go from the top. So again, the whole thing's being held together by the butt of the onion, okay? So then I'm going down, 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 down. And now I've cut it 2 directions, and then I just go off the end, and there's all my diced onions for all my diced onion needs.
You're boiling over here.
I'm boiling over there. Well, hot damn. Okay. I'm gonna turn this bad boy to a simmer. Put the lid on. Where are we at there? So I need, oh, that's perfect. There's 20 minutes left on the proteins and the roasted roots. I turned this down to a low simmer. I'm gonna let that same amount of time cook for my quinoa. So that's awesome. Now I'm gonna put my chopped onions right next to my sliced onions. Like, again, just trying to make my week easy so I can cook a variety of things. I can put these on top of things, and then I'm gonna do one more. Cutting the end off, and I'm gonna do some julienne because this is one of my favorite cuts for things like if I'm gonna make sauteed spinach, because one of the things, like, you get a lot of stuff prepped for the week, but then you also start adding to the mix, right? All right, so there we go. Throwing those in there. So now I have a variety of sizes of onions that are really gonna have a, that sounds like a shot glass off to the side. Okay, so there we go. Can you see them? I've got circular, I have sliced onions, I have diced onions, I have julienne onions. Those are going off to the side. My bell peppers are over there. And then my tomato.
Gordon Ramsay would say, my tomato.
Oh, I don't think I own tomatoes. I think these are actually tomatoes.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna cut them similar to my, onion. Except for I'm just going down from the top. And then I'm going across the top. Okay. Typically, if I was making, like, one of my favorite things to make is a Shirazi salad, which is a Persian cucumber salad, cucumber tomato onion salad. I would take out the seeds, but because this is just, you know, for throwing on salads and things like that at home, and I'm not trying to impress anybody with my skills, I'm just gonna chop them up, seeds and all. And like I said, I don't tend to cut more than one tomato at a time. Because I want them to stay nice. Okay, so I got my little thing of tomatoes. Okay, there's that. Thank you, Madam Sous Chef.
Absolutely.
Oh man, I just realized I have on a shirt that says Kim. None of these people probably know who that is.
You introduced yourself.
That's not what I meant. I meant they know me as Mean, and so they keep getting confused because they see the word Kim. All right. Let's do another thing I want to do is I always want to prep a can of beans where I just take them, rinse them, and have them so I can throw them into salads. I can throw them in with, like, scrambled eggs. I can throw them into a bowl because it's always great to add extra protein and fiber. I will tend to go for a black bean, but also sometimes a kidney bean, especially if I'm doing like a taco salad. But I also want to get these bad boys steamed. So the whole thing is that you're looking at, okay, what can I do in like 20 minutes to really maximize the number of options that I have in the fridge. So I'm just getting my brocks ready. And if it was just me, I would make my broccolis a lot longer. But for my husband, who doesn't like really long stalks, I didn't like this. So
I don't think guys like this stuff.
yeah, Jason. I mean, Jason.
So the roasted rollers in general can have long stalks.
Okay. Jay, you want to grab me another broccoli head?
Yeah, you ready?
The other one that I rinsed? Okay, thank you. Okay, so I have my handy dandy steamer. This steamer came with my microwave, which is kind of cool, but it's really big and I absolutely love it. I used to have one of the kind of upright ones, but it didn't necessarily, I like this because the bigger, flatter surface gives a lot of surface area for steaming. Dang, Jay, you sound really COVID-y. Just kidding, we're all super healthy. Okay, all right, so throwing my, you can't see that, there you go, a broccoli in there. And broccoli is something that we eat a ton of in our house, and so I want to make sure that I have enough for all week. I mean, you know, we'll throw it in with eggs, we'll throw it in with salads. It's definitely a mainstay with all of our dinners. So, okay, let's see here. Okay, so I cut off the broccolis according to kind of how they want to be cut in the beginning, like, you know, the circle bottom, the stalk. But then the other ones, I just start chopping them up. Again, the big thing is trying to get them all similar size so they cook at the same rate. Typically, when I'm going to steam broccoli, I'm going to do it for about 3 minutes. When I initially steam my broccoli, I definitely want it al dente, because if you want to throw it into a pan with something else, or if you want to reheat it, you don't want it to get all soggy and gross. Okay, and like I said before, I've already washed this broccoli, so all I need now is the water in the steamer. All right, so we'll go over here. Whoa, that water was crazy. Okay. Steaming, just make sure that you keep the water away from actually touching it. You're not trying to boil your broccoli, you're just trying to steam this bad boy. Okay, lid's on, so fun. Ah, my lid doesn't want to go on proper. What is wrong with you? Did I put you in the dishwasher? Okay, let's see if I can get my microwave and my oven to work at the same time. It is not my strongest suit. All right, microwave, cook time. I'm gonna do a 330 because of the fact that I have a lot of broccoli in there. So then start that bad boy. Okay, looking good. I'm gonna go ahead and get some of this action off of here.
What can you use those vegetables for the stock? Can you give more information on that?
So for the stock,
We didn't really explain what it is.
so for saving all the veggies for the stock, right? So look at this big, beautiful bowl of all the parts that we had cut off. We've got peppers, sweet potatoes, onion skins, all kinds of jazz, garlic skins, and now a bunch of broccoli bits. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this, I'm gonna put it in a 1-gallon bag, and I'm gonna throw it in the freezer. And then when it's time for me to make a stock, I'm gonna throw this into my Instant Pot, fill it with water, and I'm gonna let it cook. And then next thing I know, I've got an amazing stock. And then even if I don't want to use it that day to make a soup or whatever I'm gonna use stock for, I mean, like, I will take it and I will put it in bags, and I will freeze that stock flat in the freezer, and then I have it ready to use whenever I need it. All right, there's that. Okay, so up next, let's go ahead and just get a thing of beans ready to go. How are we doing on time? Should I do some eggs?
You're gonna probably have to do a little bit of.
No, I'm gonna do some eggs then.
Okay. You want me to get them out?
Here, Johnny, you want to pull out some eggs for me? Pull out the. All right, where's my colander at? Okay, the beans. Okay, the beans. I am just taking my black beans, and I am rinsing them out. They're not pouring out of the can very well.
Why do you rinse the beans, Tim?
Why do I rinse the beans, Jonna asked. It's because a lot of the gas that is created from the beans that actually upsets people's stomach resides in the juices that are in the can. So go ahead and rinse those bad boys, and then they'll make you less gassy. So that's fun. Always good to be less gassy, and always buy a low sodium bean. You can always add sodium to foods, but you can't take it away. So you don't need your foods to come extra salted. All right, so let's see. I'm gonna throw these into a Tupperware. And this is just so you can kind of see some of the things that I do when I'm prepping and I have find myself with a few extra minutes. So I've got 11 minutes left on the roots, the proteins, and the quinoa. And of course, like anything, you're going to be taking a look at those and seeing if everything is looking like it's good and done. I've got 10 minutes left. I'm going to take a look. Okay, everything looks like the veggies look like they're doing great, but I'm actually going to bump this up a few degrees. I'm going to take my lower oven to 425 just to kind of keep that cooking at a high temperature. Okay, my Tupperware really is in hiding. Okay. All right, I've got my black beans. And I'm just gonna throw them into a Tupperware. All right, and I just heard my broccoli is ready to go. Holy cow, there's a lot of food on this counter. This is pretty exciting. I'm gonna get rid of my NutriBullet, and I'm gonna swap that out for my Instant Pot. So if you don't have an Instant Pot, you should get one. even if it's just for making hard-boiled eggs, because they are the best. I don't know why, but it makes them extra creamy. Okay, I highly recommend it. Hold on, time for a booze. Oh, Dear Two Town, loving it today. It's perfect summer drink. All right. Holy cow. Where is my bottom? All right, got my Instant Pot. I should have told you guys this was a possibility. I know, I'm sorry. I did not think I'd be able to get through all of this. Okay, so Instant Pot hard-boiled eggs. You need 1 inch of cold water. And then I typically do about 10 eggs, which is usually a little bit, like about a week usually. Okay, so I've got my Instant Pot. I've got my eggs. I'm gonna put them in here. The beauty part of this is it's gonna go 5 minutes of cook time, 5 minutes of natural release, and then 5 minutes in an ice bath, okay? And you're gonna have seriously perfect eggs. It's gonna be crazy. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Great. There you go. Okie doke. So that's all you need to do. It's definitely a set it and forget it kind of a thing. Always with an Instant Pot, make sure you check your ring to make sure it's properly in place before it goes in. Dang, broccoli, calm down. All pushy. Okay, so Instant Pot, put it on, get a good seal, close the vent, hit the button that says egg, and it's gonna go for 5 minutes. And when you do it, so if you hit the button, oh, sorry, I'm out of camera. Okay, so I just hit the button on my Instant Pot. Can you see this? Okay, I can see it. So I hit the button that said egg, hit it once, then it's gonna keep the warming function on. So hit the button twice and it'll turn off the warming function. So it will go into natural release mode right after it finishes cooking. So that's really exciting. So right now this is on. Okay, that's doing its thing. I don't know if we'll really get to taking care of that, but let's get our broccolis out of here. Okay, because you want to stop them from steaming. Look at the color of them. That's one of my favorite things about steaming broccoli. Look how adorable they are. They're so bright green. I can't, there's hot water. Okay, so I'm gonna take that out. I'm gonna ditch this. And I'm gonna use the same pot and I'm gonna just do a little bit of seasoning on it. Let's see. I think I'd probably just go a little bit of, what shall we do? I think I'm just gonna keep it really simple with some salt and pepper and a tiny bit of olive oil. So salt, easy peasy. I like lemon pepper. So let's do a little bit of that. You could also squeeze a little bit of lemon on it if you wanted. And then I'm just gonna do a little bit of olive oil. Other people like butter and things like that, but I just wanted a tiny bit on there. Jonna loves butter, and if she could add butter to everything, she definitely would. Okay, so. Well, I mean, it just kind of depends. Like, I seldom have butter in my house. I mean, right now I have 6 huge things of it because I don't know. I got into the buying frenzy at Costco. It was bonkers. But I tend to cook with olive oil more than anything else. Okay, so now I have this big, wonderful thing of brock. It's perfect. So delish. So delish. Okay, so my friend the brock. Oh, I love this one. Okay, I really should have stocked my Tupperware drawer before we started this, but okay. Here we go. All right, now, so yeah, I'm not gonna put this away right now because it's warm. You don't wanna put warm things with a lid on them into your fridge. Okay, so broccoli is just gonna go over here, probably a little bit off camera for y'all, but it's fine. With its lid, and then this is gonna go into the sink for washing. Okay, how are we doing now? Okay. We have a few minutes left before things start coming out of the oven, which is totally bonkers that we just got through marinating 3 kinds of proteins, making a grain,
Does anybody have any questions?
doing root veggies. We got some eggs that are boiling. We've got steamed broccoli. We've got bell peppers, onions, and tomatoes to go on top of things. You could add lots more veggies to that. And don't forget, you always need to make yourself a washed, cut up, not cut, but like torn up lettuces and stuff, so you have your salad base. Sometimes I do romaine. Sometimes I'll do really thinly chopped kale, shredded carrots, and make whatever. I love arugula too. So whatever you have, make a salad base and put it in a big Tupperware, so you can just go in, grab a handful, and make a salad, right? We also have some beans that are ready to go. I mean, the possibilities here are totally endless and awesome. So let's take a quick peek in our oven and see what's going on. Oh my God, the roots look amazing. I'm gonna pull these out real fast, give them a little stir. But one of the things with this also, if you're like, I don't wanna cook multiple things in the oven at a time because I'm new to cooking or whatever, that just scares the crap out of me, you don't have to. You can separate them out. Look at you guys, you're getting a little brown. Oh my gosh, that looks great. Okay, so one of the things here is going to be, you need to test some of your veggies and see how they're doing, right? And stir things around because we are really kind of crowding the plate on these bad boys. Oh, look at the purple carrots are really cutely leaving their mark on different things. Okay, so the important one to check on here is going to be the sweet potatoes. Grab a fork. Ah, small fork in the big fork section. Okay, so here's a big sweet. So let's see. Al dente, but delish. Those can use a few more minutes.
2 minutes and 21 seconds.
2 minutes and 21. Woo, hot. Okay. That one was ugly. All right. I'm gonna give the meat a toss also. Just to make sure it's cooking well. Okay. Look at you, tofus. Oh, you look delish, buddies. And with the tofu, I tend to be pretty kind of careful when it comes to like trying not to break them up. Okay. Oh, these chickens are looking like they are fantastically done. But you just want to make sure that you don't have any big pieces that are stuck underneath anything. So break them all up and we'll get them in there for a few more minutes. Okay. You look good too. Look at you, little Asian chickens. You're so cute. Everything is feeling like it's perfectly cooked right now, so I actually might not even put this back in. There's no part of this chicken that seems like it's undercooked. So I'm actually gonna leave this out. This is looking really good. Okay. Holy cow, you guys, it is hot in here. Jeez.
We've got 1 minute left, pull the veggies out.
Okay.
Recap everything.
All right. Tofu. Delish. Chick. Perfect. Okay.
Confirmed. Delicious.
Super good. Jonna has confirmed that the tofu is delicious. The chicken, perfectly cooked. On the chicken, you can also throw an easy read thermometer into it if you were like, I'm concerned. If this works. Is it? Why isn't it coming on? Okay. Ooh, sesame seeds, Jonna. That is a great idea for a finisher. Okay. Okay. Jonna just said to me, you should throw some sesame seeds on your chicken. And on the Asian chicken. And that is a really great idea. And I tend to have them lying around. Those are mustard seeds. I made that mistake the other day. Okay. I just have to hit all the buttons on my thing. Oh, here, I found sesame seeds.
Any questions asked?
Okay, so.
5 minutes, you can, for an hour and 15.
Okay. I'm just gonna throw some sesame seeds on these bad boys. Now, all of this, all the proteins, I'm gonna let them sit out for a minute, and we actually have, we're probably gonna eat them in the very near future. But, oh, okay, so here, you're gonna see something super ghetto fabulous on my part. For some reason, my Instant Pot has never sealed properly, so I actually use this lovely dowel that is for poking holes in the ground to put seeds in the ground, and I use it to seal my Instant Pot. And yes, I did send them a request for a new lid that seals properly, but they thought I was lying. Well, now you know. So that's gonna do 5 minutes on there. Those things are chilling, and it's time. That means it's also time for this bad boy. So quinoa is done. It likes to sit after it's come out, okay? So don't just go opening that right away. You're gonna let that sit for a few minutes. I'm gonna turn this.
Do you recommend putting everything in a separate bowl and then assembling as you eat it?
Do I recommend putting everything in a separate bowl?
Assembling for easy jobbing.
Oh yeah, I don't put things into bowls and put them in the fridge like some people. I'm gonna store my tofu in one, my taco chicken in one, my Asian chicken in one. I keep everything totally separate. If you're somebody who you know what you're gonna like to eat and you want to assemble bowls to have for the week, you totally can. That's just not my jam. All right. Our friends, the Roots, are ready to go. Okay. Holy cow! I'm really impressed by the amount of food that just turned out in an hour and 15 minutes. But this is like, I mean, it's a testament to the fact that you can prep a ton of food for the week. It's not super taxing. Yeah, let's get all this up here, Jay. Let's get it all up here. There we go. Recap. Okay, I'm gonna do that. Just toss these little bad boys a little bit. Okay, so other things that I want to finish by telling you guys is that I would, in addition to the things that we made tonight, I would typically also have pulled something out and marinated it that I would plan on cooking in a couple days just to kind of freshen up the mix of things. So for example, I might pull out a big piece of beef that I'm going to do, that I'm going to start defrosting today, that I'm going to put in the Instant Pot and do like a shredded barbacoa, or I might start marinating a flank steak that I would grill later on this week, or I might pull out some pieces of frozen fish, you know, a cod or a mahi-mahi. But if you're really at home with your family every day like we are right now, you're going to go through this a lot more quickly than you would, you know, if it was a regular time when people were leaving the house and things like that. But this is a huge, amazing start. So let's look at what we have. We've got a quinoa that is just about ready to go. We have roasted sweet potatoes, cauliflower, and carrots with a really light kind of salt and peppery flavor to it. It's fantastic. We've got a black bean and barbecue tofu. We've got a taco seasoning chicken. I guess I can show you guys these things that we're talking about. I've got a, can you see it? Pretty. And then I've got a lovely Asian chicken with sesame seeds on it. We've got black beans ready to go, steamed broccoli, chopped bell peppers, onions, and tomatoes for toppings on things. We have eggs that are working right now. And so again, on the eggs, 5 minutes of cook time. Make sure you have it set so it will natural release, not stay warm. So once that 5 minutes is up, you're gonna give it 5 minutes of natural release. While that 5 minutes is happening, set a timer too. You're gonna fill one of those plastic bowls full of ice, and then you're gonna take those 10 eggs, throw them in the ice for 5 minutes, and you've got 10 perfect hard-boiled eggs. Okay? So this is really, I mean, this is my jam. I don't think I missed anything.
A week of meals with me.
A week of meals with me, man. Rocket Mom did it. Wow. Okay. That's it. Anybody have questions? Paige, do we have questions?
None so far, but let's see if we get any.
Really? None so far? Did I go too fast for people?
Did anybody log them?
Nancy was cooking along, and I think you did great. Most people were watching and had a great time. Rita says, nice job.
Oh, hi, Rita. And I've done quite a few different like prep cook days with people. So if any of you guys are like, oh my gosh, I want to do a prep cook with you, of the actual foods that you like, we can have a chat about what are things you actually like to eat, because these are things that, you know, my husband and I like to eat. But if you're somebody who is like, hey, I would like to know how to cook this, this, and this, the big thing is I always look at multiple recipes to get ideas. I seldom follow recipes. I mean, it was adorable that I had one there, and that I panicked and didn't remember if I know how to make quinoa while we were cooking. But I always go through recipes, you know, typically before I get to a prep cooking session, because then I just have ideas, and I don't want to keep cooking the same things week after week. Like my husband hasn't had any of these things in quite a while, except for taco chicken.
Always.
Right, there's always taco chicken. So I always look for new things that we can do, just to kind of keep it fresh and to find new recipes. This recipe for tofu I actually came up with on the fly because I was hosting a birthday party for my 18-year-old goddaughter Grace, and she said all of her friends ate meat. And then we got to the middle of the party and we were about to eat dinner, and half of them said, oh, we don't eat meat. So sometimes you find great recipes out of necessity. But yeah, I think that's about it then. I'm gonna fluff my quinoa and, you know, get on with my eggs, and I will let all y'all get out and enjoy this beautiful day.
Wonderful. What meal are you gonna make out of this first?
What meal am I gonna make out of this first? Well, that's the problem, is so once I make it all, I'm so excited about it, I tend to make a bowl that has everything in it and kind of tastes weird, just to be super honest. My husband will come in and he'll make a bowl that has a very specific theme. He's more regimented than me like that, but I want to taste all the different things. And so it'll be a very strange thing, and I'll just kind of cover it in secret aardvark hot sauce and call it a day.
Amazing.
Yeah. All right. Well, then that's it for me today. I thank you guys for joining me on this lovely Mother's Day. Thanks so much. I'm hoping that roller derby resumes soon, and we will see you on the track. Oh, look at my eggs. They're ready for a 5-minute natural release. I better start my timer. All right. Thanks, you guys. Signing off.
Thank you. So great.
Thank you. Thanks, Jonna.